Hey everybody, welcome to the Onyx Path Twitch. Sorry for the late start today. I had a engagement on a nearby channel. I was over at the Pinnacle channel talking about the recent release of the Gauntlet of Spirigos for Savage Worlds, which is super cool. Which is a thing that I am licensing from Onyx Path with my own publishing company. Aegis Studios. I'm gonna throw a link to that in the chat because I get to do that. You should go pick that up. Gauntlet of Spirios, Introductory Adventure, Savage Worlds. You grab that. You grab the Savage Worlds rules. It's everything you need. Run the game. It's gonna be awesome, fun time. But above and beyond, and perhaps more pertinent to our audience from that, this week, as of Wednesday, the World Below is now available in PDF and POD over at DriveThruRPG. That is correct. You can go pick up the World Below core book, get a beautiful POD copy if you want to. It's out, it's up, and last I looked, it was the #2 bestseller over at DriveThruRPG.
It was on front page before I was logged in.
Yep.
That's awesome. Congratulations to the whole team. Glad to hear it. Glad to see it. If you have not yet picked it up, please go do so. If you have picked it up, please head over there, leave a rating or review. Let folks know what you love about the World Below. I think that pretty well pays the bills. So let's go ahead and meet our cast. Let's kick it off first with Cal. If you could, please tell us who you are, what you do, who you are playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, and anything you would like to promote.
Yeah. My name is Cal. I use he, him pronouns, and so does Bunga. He's the Hob and the Gob type in the World Below. He's a hunter who's bug oriented, and he's used to be kind of like a hired muscle, and accidentally turned into a bandito. But then he found some friends and found maybe he's got his own goals and that he actually wants to do good things. So it's been fun learning that he can make friends, even if they all are elves. Maybe he's got a type.
Could be.
As for me, Dork Tales, I run Descent into Avernus. That's Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition module. And oh geez, what else? I'm in Vampire Dark Ages on Wednesday nights. And I'm Salubri on that. So if you want to come watch me die imminently and try to survive through the Dark Ages.
Is that coming up soon? You dying?
Well, we just did some downtime and there's some random like dice things going on there. And I was like, ooh, I got an ally. Instead of like losing resources up or down or whatever, I got an ally. And it's like, oh, the allies premiere.
Okay. Just to be clear,
with friends like that,
I already ship it.
And Kelly was like, and lover? Maybe they don't know.
That'd be funny.
And
maybe they do. Maybe they do.
My Malkavian sire has some splaining to do. But other than that, we just finished Too Much Energon with the interview with David Kay.
So that's it? You're done?
And 151 episodes. We're done. Yeah. We decided not to review every episode of Beast Wars Neo, the Japanese Beast Wars, because the Beast Wars 2nd, the original Japanese Beast Wars, it drained us.
I'm sure.
It drained us. And we have a whole show about Beast Wars, and we could not go on. So ending with a bang was good.
Well, congratulations on
we might we might replace it with a Highlander podcast. My recording partner is really pushing me for that, and I'm like, man, we just did Beast Wars, and now you want to do Highlander.
Check and see if anybody else is doing that, because there can be only one.
That's right. Yeah, apparently not.
It's not about only having one. It's about the fight till there is only one. So,
All right, so you can do a Highlander podcast, but only if you hunt down everybody else who's doing one and try to
Who's doing
cut
one?
their
Yeah.
head
Or
off in a
do
parking
more
garage.
episodes than them.
you
Or
call
get
it
more
the
episodes.
Quickening Network.
Hey,
Ooh.
there you go.
A battle royale. You call it the Gathering. This shit writes itself.
All right, so I'll be sure to invite Kevin as a guest host for that.
Definitely.
Yes. In.
And this coming weekend, for equipment costs, reimbursement costs for the people in Dork Tales, they're doing so it's like a charity, but for Kelly and for everyone at Dork Tales, right? For us, they're running all of the keys to the Golden Vault.
Yes.
They're all like heist things, and they're all like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4.
I'm playing in one of them. I drew up a wizard who is a conjuration wizard who's got flock of familiars, an unseen servant.
Monster.
I'm just going to be a problem.
You monster. I made a goblin ranger rogue with sharpshooter.
Nice.
So that's going to be a problem too. We're going to be problems in those games, but they should be fun. So yeah, if anyone's listening to this or sees this on the weekend, yeah, come and check us out anytime. Just pop in. Even if you just want to say hi. Yeah, it's going all weekend. Not 24/7. They're not crazy.
I feel like those two statements are unrelated.
I used to work graveyards, so
fair enough.
Feel like they are.
On that bright shiny
internment.
Hey, a little A, little B. On that bright shiny crow, your pertinence, please.
Hello, I'm Crow. I play Salvo, one of our elves who might be a little bit more of a person than I believe, but that could just be a ruse. We don't know. It's all confusing. We fought a dragon. It actually survived. I don't know. We're still dealing with the fallout of that and going into town. But the Eldrator behind that Eldrator, myself, hi. You can find me not just playing this game, but also Scion the Demigod, the Tower, where our heroes are slowly about to ascend to godhood? Question mark. And the fallout that might come
So session
from that.
1.
The Roman pantheon may get destroyed. We don't know. It might be my character's fault. He's crashing out currently. He's going through a villain era.
It's like
Other
a
than
Christopher
that,
Nolan version of Percy Jackson. Like,
more like Succession. More like Succession if you ever seen it.
There you go.
Also, currently you can also find me at the tabletop almanac playing Historica Arcanum. It is a D&D game set in Jerusalem, or at least the one that we're playing. That is where we're I know it is weird. We just posted session 0. I think session 1 is about to be posted soon, so check that out. That is on the Corvus Blue Sky, so check that out and all the other stuff that I will magically appear on. By the time you watch this episode on YouTube, there's probably going to be 15 more things that pop up. So yeah, that's currently all there is that I can remember currently.
Fair enough. I appreciate it. And next up, that brings us to Haley. Haley, your pertinence, please.
Hi everyone, my name's Haley, also known as Babe_Blade on the internet. Oh, 666 on the internet. And I'm playing Stropharia. She's a mushroomy, what's that called? Elf.
Mycelia elf. Yep.
With a V.
Yeah, like a healer, priestess kind of character.
Oh, I
And
always forget it's not dwarf and elf. It's Darv and Elv.
Ilv.
We've been doing the wrong accent this whole time.
Ilv.
The signs were there.
I've been
Well, you've been the only one doing it right.
Elves and dwarves.
Yes. I don't know. I don't really have much to promote. I'm just here for fun.
Well, we certainly appreciate you just being here for fun. And last but not least, that brings us to Kevin. Your pertinence, please.
Oh, hi, everybody. I'm Kevin R. Zarnicki, he, him, game designer, voice actor, and teacher of both those and other esoteric things. Yeah, I live in America. What else? I actually will be dipping out of this session early today, about an hour and 10 minutes from now, because I am in a meeting to finally get the website for my academy, Royal Rogues, where we teach voiceover, where we teach game design, where we are hoping to open our own little publishing house and our own little casting studio and our own little everything, because this may not be the era of small business, but I'll be damned if I sell out to the man. But yeah, so while you can still reach me at kevin.r.zarnicki@gmail.com if you are interested in signing up for lessons that not only teach you how to do the stuff, but actually get you networked in and some veterancy before you meet your agent. Because I don't believe in giving you half an education and turning you out to the wolves with no idea where to go. I will hold your hand until it is shaking someone's. I thrive by your success. Because then you're going to refer more people. It's actually really good for me. So anyway,
It's like the opposite of Palpatine.
Right.
Do it. I'm there for you.
I'm like I'm really actually here for you. Do it. Succeed. Oh my
Glorious.
I look
God.
forward to seeing the website.
Me too, honestly. We've got a logo. It looks fucking sweet. I'm very excited. And the more we thrive, the more people we can bring on. I want to bring in Travis to do some tutoring for game design because he's fucking brilliant.
That's very
I-
kind of you to say. I appreciate it.
I don't pay compliments. I just speak my truths. It's easier to remember with this tapioca I got upstairs.
That is fair and relatable.
That
Well-
is all you.
And as you mentioned, wrapping up a little early. I know we're starting a little late as well. It's been a bit of a thing, but I think what we're going
America.
to do, because I know that some of us have had are a little bit exhausted with the state of the world and the state of the state. So I think we're going to do is we're going to just do a nice little cozy short stream. We're going to button things up at 9 Eastern, I think, about an hour and 10 from now. And then we'll be able to be back in Fighting Trim in 2 weeks with a full length session.
I was going to recommend a beach episode, but that deserves a full.
That does deserve a
It
full.
does. You can't have an episode. You need a beach arc.
Oh, a beach arc.
We've earned that.
You are pretty far skyward, but not quite like beach skyward. In fact,
We're gonna get to it's gonna be Metro Exodus, isn't it? Like there's fucking radios and shit up there and TV, and we're like, what?
We get up there and it's MLP. And
I was thinking
Care
more
Bears.
like, what was that? What was the movie with Blast from the Past? I think with Christopher Walken and
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser.
I love that.
That was
So
a
it's just the
delightful
90s?
movie. Like
It was very delightful. Alicia
was
Silverstone, I think, was in that.
yeah, it was during that brief era where swing dancing was all the rage.
Yes, for about 6
Better
months.
days.
Yep, it was similar to the Gregorian chant era that happened in the 90s that nobody believes happened. It did.
Oh, it happened.
I was there when
I
it was
was there.
written.
I was there when they carved it into the stone.
I played that at a quarter speed to scare off Jehovah's Witnesses. Just blasted it. It worked.
Do not cite the deep Gregorian at me.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of deep,
when it was chiseled into the stone tablets.
so you all went to Fortress. The last time we met, you had destroyed a ruby dragon, managed to cut some trophies from its flesh, made a deal with the residents of its hometown of Stonefloor that they would send runners out to the nearby communities, basically allowing people to come and claim anything the dragon might have stolen from them. And then you proceeded on to Fortress. You had just arrived, showed the guards at the gate your collection of trophies. At which point they recommended you head in and find lodging at the Portcullis Inn. And they said they would come by after their shift ended to buy you drinks if you so desired. So we're going to assume that you made your way to the Portcullis Inn and that you have acquired a place to sleep for the night and a safe place to store your wares. What would you like to do with the remainder of that evening? Would you be hanging out in the tap room? Would you be turning in, calling an early night? Would you be? Is there any interpersonal things you want to address? What do you got going on? I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the current traveling group is just you all and M at this point, because I think everybody else sort of either got killed or ran away or got sent elsewhere.
Or purposefully left
Or...
behind. Yeah. Because it was traveling and then we had a pit stop.
Well, we're going to make arrangements to speak with the local government or whatever about trade arrangements and what have you. We're going to present our trophies and be like, yeah, check out what we got. Big ass ruby dragon. Woot woot. And show off our what's the material called again?
LeBron.
I know this. LeBron, yes. All I see is a basketball. Yes, our LeBron materials for potential trade, mutual protection, establish the information network that we're looking for the larger mind control nonsense and soul eating grubs trend that we saw.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have Kale Zool, the character I completely forgot to introduce. Elf necromancer who's all about shepherding the dead and making sure people are remembered and cared for after death. So benevolent necromancer. Very Holocaust action going on here. I'm gonna see what the local grave situation looks like. Just learn their policies and culture regarding the dead.
Sure. As you're asking around, I guess are you staying within the bounds of the inn, or are you gonna wander and ask questions, or wander and try to just see what you can find?
I guess I
take
could
take a walk around the block.
I want to take a walk around, but if just in a meta sense, if it's better if we're all together, then I'm happy to keep the group together and just ask around, for conversation at the tavern.
Absolutely go walking around. Is anybody going to go a wandering beneath the metallic roof of fortress with Yelzul?
Yeah, Kelzul is like prime guy that I want to mug target. What I mean by that is like he looks like it's like catching a wizard on their own in D&D. Like if I grapple that guy,
we have very different experiences mugging wizards, Cal.
Oh.
It's like flaming aura. Don't touch me.
Oh no, flaming aura.
He's on fire though.
No, I'm taking whole D6 damage every turn. It's like poison in D&D. You're like, this is the poison of Kingslayers, and you stab someone, and you're like, no, 2d4 damage unless I succeed a Constitution.
I might die tomorrow, maybe.
I might. Oh no, passed it on the second round. Poison stopped working. So I'm gonna go with them.
What poison?
Yeah, exactly. You just wipe the cut with your shirt. You're fine. I really like ripping on D&D. Can you tell? I'm gonna go with them. Take a look around. Maybe see what this town's all about.
All right. What about Savo and Straferia?
I guess if everyone's going, we should probably stick together. So I'll go too.
Same.
All right. As you're wandering about, the city is relatively. I don't want to say it's like cramped. Like you've certainly been in places that are more cramped, but everything seems to be designed for two purposes: utility and brutality. The buildings are all just sort of blocky metallic walls. You'll see occasionally you'll pass a building with like actual spikes pointing out of its corners, just in case you have to like slam a random passerby into it and impale them.
You could just say
Wait,
Cadia.
what?
Like,
Like for example, if a monster were to breach the walls, or if a person were to attempt a crime, there's not a non-zero chance you could just grab them by the neck and slam them into the nearest wall, and they would get impaled on something.
if I remember correctly, the whole place is kind of built like a fortress fort. Like it's all. I mean, it's called fortress, right?
Right. It's got a
It's-
very like if you think back to like was the Two Towers when they're the way Helm's Deep is
Deep.
constructed, and you've got like layers upon layers of fallback positions. It's very much built in that sort of fashion. And after walking around for a little bit and just asking a few questions about funerary ritual services, they a helpful Darv on the street points you to a mausoleum. They say there's a mortician who's come from Auracaster a few calms back and has opened a shop offering grave watching.
Can I do an intelligence culture check to observe something about the town as we go?
Sure. Go
Right.
ahead.
That's 5. I got a 9 and an 8. Does it look like the nicer or like more well-to-do people are further out because they can take care of themselves, or are the weaker ones out, and the stronger you are, the more fortification you get?
I will say that you can definitely see that in the center of the fortress is probably the largest keep that has the coat of arms and flags of Emperor Rook on it. So the actual like
the castle piece? That's
yes,
brilliant. I love it.
the actual Emperor's castle is in the dead center. It would stand to reason, as far as based on the way most places tend to be laid out. It would radiate out class wise from there as well. But you do know that in Fortress, class can be earned in blood. You can go from being kind of a pauper to a prince, just off of the strength of heroics during a particularly nasty calm, or a strong trophy that you've returned at the end of a hunt. Do you have questions, Treveri?
Yeah, I was just wondering if like everyone around us is like super jacked. Like
Oh yeah, I mean
almost as big
it's-
as me.
it's not necessarily like you have to kind of look to see, not because of there being few people with like good builds, but because everybody is armored. Like the children are in plate mail. There's
okay. So we
just-
look weird. Like we
you-
look bored.
I'm in
you-
spiked armor. I don't know about.
Yeah,
I'm like a long, slender mushroom, so with like flowy
You-
gowns.
you and Kelzul kind of stick out a little bit. Savo sticks out everywhere, but
If you see him at all.
if you see Savo, and yeah, out of the entire group, I would say that Bunga probably looks the most like at home. You're not drawing a whole lot of strange looks, though. People, in fact, seem to not be paying you much attention at all.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because they're if all you're getting are trophies, then like magic users can kill monsters too, right? So
Right.
Thank you.
I will say that you probably pick up just from the way that, if you're asking for directions and having even just sort of side of the road interactions, what you may pick up like vibes wise is that if you're not presenting a threat or brandishing a trophy, you're almost non-existent. The fact that you are all wearing a common phrase in Fortress is "wear your kill," and the fact that you are all wearing a piece of that dragon that you killed seems to be giving them like enough to be like, okay, you're cool.
I did not expect that to pay off so quickly or so well. Awesome.
I just thought it was cute.
Yeah. Oh, Ruby Dragon Tooth.
After a bit of wandering, you're taken to this this mausoleum that has been founded by the traveler from Auracaster. Traveler from Auracaster's name is Tort.
Like the dessert?
Sure.
Okay.
And Tort is human.
He's not a Huven.
He's not human.
He's an Uman. Umin.
He is human. He is covered in sort of lesions and bumps. His skin is somewhat moist and clammy. He has like a Lynchian Baron Harkonnen vibe.
We're not playing Curseborn, man. Not yet, anyway.
And when you're taken in to see him, you arrive and you're greeted by a Darv woman. She just says, how can I be of service?
Simply here to learn of your funerary rites and pay respects to those who have fallen.
Very well. Right this way. Tort will discuss it with you. He's working his shift, so please. And she takes you out to the mausoleum he has built. You note it's kind of like it's got the sort of above ground grave vibe of like New Orleans, but all of the graves have open sides to them. They're all lined, sort of fanned out from a central area against the far back wall, with the open sides pointed towards the far back wall. In the center of that far back wall is a bench, and the first time since entering Fortress, probably including your beds, you notice like a really plush, sort of comfortable padding on this bench. And he's sitting in the dead center of it, staring forward as you approach.
Up, introduce ourselves. Does he look Do I recognize a fellow like Skullcrag person or?
Your understanding is he's from Warcaster.
Right. Okay. No, respectfully bow.
He says, "How can I be of service? Are one of you expecting to shuffle loose the mortal coil soon?"
Hopefully not. More interested in learning of the funerary rites of your people. We don't have to dwell over long on it if you don't want to. I'm
No,
just happy to.
Because I've opened up shop here to offer a service to the greatest warriors who fall in battle of Fortress. They will pay me and my associates to corpse watch them.
Do you expect them to get up?
No. But in the world below, when the dead are not attended to, their bodies disappear.
Mm.
So we offer a service to sit vigil for them.
Is that for a limited time, as long as the rent is paid, or
As long as the rent is paid.
what happens when it isn't?
We can move them once we cast them out of our gaze.
Also been to a big pit in the back.
A corpse bank. And
Good idea.
no, that actually answers all my questions, I think. Do the spirits linger?
I don't much truck with spirits. We haven't had any problems, if that's what you're asking.
Would you mind if I turned my gaze to it?
By all means, as long as you don't block my view for long.
Of course. I'll use my Eyes of the Dead ability.
Sure. So just to double check on that, Eyes of the Dead just effectively lets you see.
Ghost eyes, yeah.
Right.
Let's see.
And then all the Draugr start waking up.
Damn it, we knew this was going to happen. All right. So yeah, are there like spirits lingering around the area?
I'm sorry, what was the name of the power again? Just run it by me one more time.
There's Ghost Eyes and Corpse Whisperer. Corpse Whisperer, communicate with non-intelligent undead. Ghost Eyes, once per session, speak with spirits as neutral.
Okay.
So not exactly a vision thing, but I assume that you get the ability to perceive them.
So as you're looking around, you get the impression none of these people seem to be particularly ill at rest. If their spirits are lingering, they're not lingering here with their bodies. However, you also do notice, as you focus your attention on the ephemeral world of the dead, all of you standing so close to one another, you can see little spiritual, one might say, sparks is kind of a strong term, but like bursts of energy dancing back and forth between the necklaces that you're all wearing.
Can I get a int esoterica to try to figure out what's up with that?
Sure, by all means.
That is my best roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Pair of tens. So
So that's 4.
that'll do.
All right. You're not 100% sure, but you think that this is activity of the Ruby Dragon trying to reconstitute itself.
Oh. It's not good.
I hope they're chopping that thing up back in that last place. Like,
Well, remember, you have several pieces of it with you.
Yeah.
Hova so Alduin.
Okay, well, now I'm curious. Like, is this thing like a worm, and it'll like grow lots of dragons out of its constituent parts, or like, is this a Wolverine
I
situation where
mean,
the biggest part will regenerate?
you got 4 hits, so I would say that you can reason that it's going to try to pull itself together. You can reason that it probably does not have um, the ability to constitute from constituent parts. Uh, as long as you keep, like for example, I believe you brought its head with you. I believe you're fairly certain that as long as you keep its head away from its neck, not to you know get too Highlandery with it, but as long as
It's trying to be one.
right, it's trying to pull itself back together. So as long as you keep the vital bits apart from one another, you should probably be fine.
Could we theoretically use the little like interactive moats between them to find each other?
You could. So could anybody else who can see ghosts.
That's the other thought I had. Okay, neat. That's a cool side effect. We don't run into too many hostile necromancers as of yet, so more benefit than hazard thus far.
Anyone
Cool.
else know that why Kael'Zul's looking at us funny?
I will
I-
communicate all of this to the group.
Oh.
Good catch. I'm sitting
I
here.
just imagine he was smoking his pipe. How
Right.
curious. Yes.
I thought he was just going to bury us preemptively, but
I think I have an idea for a new adventure.
We become the next Ruby Dragon.
No.
If we do some sort of fusion dance, maybe we could harness the power of the dragon.
Le Pac de la Draco. I don't know.
Oh, strange elf language you speak there.
Yes.
Always
French.
thought French was made up.
The surface is just all France.
So yeah, Tort says, "Is there anything else I can do to be of service for you? Are you? Would you like to reserve a plot?"
Oh, thank you. No. Have you perchance seen any evidence of soul leeching?
No, not so much around here. Usually, the most common thing that brings visitors here is incursions from above. Our warriors are most likely to fall on either side of calm as creatures from the world above pour down. You see, Fortress is the first line of defense for civilization in the world below.
Oh.
That is what we are most likely to contend with.
Sorry, Cal sent a link.
It's the Futurama scene where the professor's like, "You have a universal translator," and the professor's like, "Yes, unfortunately, it only translates everything into an archaic dead language." And the can't remember his name, but the little test tube clone of him is like, "Hello," and it's like, "Bonjour."
Bonjour.
Nice.
See, gibberish.
All right. So whatever the threat is, it hasn't knowingly reached this place. So that's cool. All right. I will tell Tort about what we've run across, the soul leeches, what happened to that one town, this strange ghost trapping epidemic, something to keep an eye open for.
Because I will be mindful. I mean, that is what we do. I maintain my vigil. We do not leave these bodies abandoned, but it is only those who die in the most heroic fashions that are brought to me. You may wish to check and see with the guards, particularly those on the outer rim of the city. They may have a different experience.
Thank you.
Of course.
Go in peace, fellow watcher.
He nods. You as well.
Well, that's my portion of the game night. So please, somebody else take over.
Would he freak out if I like put my hand over his eyes? Whoa,
He might be unhappy with you.
what if we all blink at the same time?
They're corpses, not weeping angels. Like you can
Oh.
blink. You can
I don't want to be mean, but do you really want to touch this dude after how he was
It's
described?
true. Yeah.
I don't even want to be in here. It's scary.
Sophia actually wants to leave.
Where would
Just
you like
from
to?
like it just reminds her of like the slaughter that just happened to those people. She doesn't really want to be around death,
That's
like-
fair.
tons of dead people anymore. So she's probably gonna seek out a tavern.
All right. You start heading back out. Does anyone else want to go anywhere else before returning to the tavern?
As we head to the tavern, Lung is gonna like rub his chin and be like, "All right, so dead things, not just people, like disappear after a while. Like even if you put them in a box, and that's why that guy's watching them, right?
Mm.
What if all the people that die here, like what if this is like a dream and then they wake up and that's why their body's on here because this is just a dream."
That's very philosophical, Bunga.
And terrifying.
Yes.
What does the Church of like Gelphim believe happens after you die?
That you are rejoined by Golthon. As far as the Church of Golthon is concerned, Golthon is literally in everything.
Yeah.
So if your body disappears, you have been absorbed back into oneness with Golthon.
Okay.
So to a degree, you might even feel like it's a little bit like not cool that they're staring at these.
Not.
You know what I mean? They're kind of like not letting them rejoin with
Oh,
the world below.
Yeah.
Oh, because their
maybe
spirits
that's
might,
another reason why I wanted to leave the morgue. I'm like, it's not right.
Oh, so their spirits might go, but the id, the body portion of them, the greater soul disappears to Galthon, but their bodies don't. How would
No, their
well,
bodies do. That's because as far
But
as
I mean, if Stratheria, like if that guy's job is to like watch them, then there's like the lesser soul. Can you tell I play Exalted? The lesser soul doesn't like pass, like the person version of the soul rather than the immortal
sure.
soul. Oh, that sucks.
I mean, one might argue it. You might also say that. I mean, depending on how the soul is viewed, and I don't know that this is canonically established, so this is something that Stratheria can maybe sort out on her own. If you take the body as being an empty shell, it doesn't necessarily mean that empty shell doesn't belong with Golthon.
Mhm.
Because the idea is that the world below was created when Golthon absorbed himself into it to grant new life to the people who were running from whatever tragedy occurred above, right? So in a way, you're sort of removing a portion of yourself from that cycle.
Oh, it's like an energy reincarnation. Like if he is the world below, then your body.
I mean, it's seeing the matter as ephemeral as the spiritual, if that makes sense. Right? Like it's still just the body. Like you're not associating that the way that we would. I would very loosely suggest that it's like some of the religions where they, would say that like having your body separated from itself is like the burial practices that you have to keep the body together because like that's the form you're going to have in the afterlife. Right. Kind of a similar vibe, but more of in the sense that the body should be rejoined with the world below to help facilitate Golthon and generating more of the world below.
Oh, it's a natural thing.
Right. Right. Like as far as the Church of Golthon would be concerned, when a tunnel moves during calm, that's just because Golthon shifted. You know what I mean? Like that's perfectly natural. That's what it's supposed to happen.
He turned in his sleep.
Right.
This is one of the most sensible druidic style religions I've ever heard in a game.
Right?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, there's not like 11 different planes and subplanes that connect to each other through the ether. That's kind of like space, but isn't space because you don't need to breathe in it.
I mean, there might be, but not according to the Church of Golthon.
Oh, so Plutonianism is just an aberrancy. Gotcha. No, we call that the shadow of Golthon. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Suppose everything looks like a nail to a hammer, I guess.
And I mean, this may very well also be a conversation that you're all having as you're heading back to the inn.
Yeah, I'll kind of express my disappointment with that. Like, I guess there's many that do not believe in Golthon here if they want their bodies watched.
Well, it's a temporary watch, isn't it?
A watch until they can't pay anymore, right?
That, admittedly, I'm not crazy about.
Their bodies should be rejoined with Golthon. It's an honor.
They have loved ones that are paying for it. It could be a whole long time.
I turn and look at the party. For clarity's sake, I'm not especially a fan of this practice. Golthon or not, I think that rest is due to all. And remembrance, not merely for the sake of glory.
You hear somebody shout as you say that on the street, somebody shouts "Glory!" and they like smack their axe into a wall, and then 4 other people do the same, and then continues on.
Bunga's very easily influenced, so he immediately joins in.
Straferia just watches with a straight face. Like,
as soon as you like brandish your axe and smack it against a wall, like 3 Darvs come walking up to you, Bunga. They're like, "What's this then?"
This is a rust knight's axe, it is.
How'd you come by such a glorious weapon?
Well, my friends and I here. My friends and I here have done disposed of a few of them ourselves.
You're talking nonsense.
Oh?
We've never heard of a rust knight being disposed of, let alone someone taking their weapon off them after slaughtering them.
Well, that's no longer true after today.
Why do we have 2?
Because we gave you all our axes.
Yeah.
Oh, one of them got disintegrated.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we were like,
you gave me...
why do we all have axes? Bunga could just axe, new axe, new axe.
Oh, that's why. Well, how do you explain why I have 2? And then I take the other one out.
Oh! And they're like start jumping up and down and like just are overwhelmed with excitement. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? This man's carrying two rust knight axes.
I could basically run for mayor here. They love me.
Salvo, not used to all of this commotion and being surrounded by merriment. It just looks like a scene from Sleepy Hollow, like he's taking his head off, pushes it up against Kalzul. I'll be back. And then like the cape that he normally wears just flops to the ground. Salvo is out of there.
Am I holding your head?
Excellent.
This was like 20 minutes ago, but we're only noticing now.
Did you leave your head with
You've
me? Am I
been-
holding your head?
You've been walking with his mask, his head, like the last 15 minutes.
And where, pray tell, is Savo headed?
It's just exploring, like has gone vertical, gone upward, just to look out at everything, just try to get like a bird's eye view of the
Assassin's
landscape.
Creeding.
Sure.
Yeah,
Everything's climbable.
Why don't you go ahead and drop me a let's go with whatever is the lower of your larceny and athletics. And then you can pair that with whichever attribute you feel is best.
Okay.
I wonder if I got that from here. A couple years ago, I started doing roll the lower of when it's something that would require both, but having a misunderstanding of either.
So this is how
And then I also do the roll the better of if it's an easier thing.
Sure.
I wonder if I stole that from you.
in this
Can't
in
remember.
this particular instance, we're talking about mixed actions. So
Mm.
the way the mixed actions function is you can choose to combine two actions in the same roll, perform them at the exact same time, but they have to be different actions. So it can't be like in this case, he's climbing and sneaking, right? So
3
you-
successes,
Excellent.
by the way.
So then what you do is you form a pool from the lower of the two, and then you divide the hits from that into the two actions.
Oh.
So-
Oh, I like that.
So you're able to get up there without getting spotted. Nobody's actively looking for you. You're not presenting a threat. So that's fine. You're able to sort of shimmy your way up to a rooftop. Is there anything in particular that you're trying to see or find, Savo, or are you just trying to get some air and some space?
Mostly some air. He's just scanning. It's been a lot the last
Sure.
few hours, so it's more his way of decompressing and still keeping an eye on them as well, while that is happening. But it's vibing in its own way.
Right on. While the three Darvs are sort of fawning over Bunga, and in fact, more start to sort of walk up, and a small crowd starts to gather. M is going to start like singing Bunga's praises and talking him up. Like one time, I saw him fight this entire giant bug thing that had made its way right when we first started work. Staying in Gelphim's Rest. This bug's head came in, and Bunga was able to hold it at bay. We've got a door named after it now. It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
And she gets
Went
one
to
hit.
go hunting and things were closer to home than I thought.
As she's
Is it weird that I'm picturing the dwarves from Oglaf? Just like eyes going different directions and yeah, that's fucking great. Now it blows up. How do we go to the freaking scale like blow up? That was you.
kind of that vibe. And one of them sort of like
I go to pat. Well, I couldn't have done it without Savo, and I go to pat him. I assume Savo is actually just many Matryoshka dolls, but not enough that makes sense. Like just very minutely smaller, like
Sure.
infinitely. Like you'd have to pull off 100 before you even notice the size difference.
You could
And I
do
go
the
to pat
scarf
him on the
trick
back.
for a while and just
I go to pat him on the back, and the cloak and the mask just clatter like a puppet. I don't know my own strength.
where's the special ability to leave Matryoshka doubles?
Be perfect.
If anybody
Expansion
could
book.
make that, it would be Savo.
that would be pretty perfect. How is
That'd be kinda
Straferia
dope.
taking this scene in the street?
She'll look to Bunga and be like, "You do deserve the praise. I do say so myself.
Oh, everybody's so nice. Wow. And here I was thinking if I went in the, if I went in the other direction, people would want to probably arrest me. Where is he from again? Burra.
What?
Right. That's the mercenary
Yeah, the
place.
Burr are like the Wanderers.
Yeah.
Um,
But here, everyone's great.
one of them's like, "Oh well, we must buy 2 drinks for you. 2 drinks for all your companions, 1 for each axe. And then come, you'll tell the inn of the tales of how you acquired these.
Oh, say no more.
Join us.
And I pick up the rattling Savo puppet. Because as far as I know, he's just sleeping, and this is what he looks like.
Like, he handed me his head. I'm just gonna set it on top of my staff and start walking.
Very good. The 3 of you start making your way over to back to the Portcullis Inn. What is Savo doing now up the side of the building?
Gonna take one more glance, one more view. Well,
Sure,
that's
is
what's
it-
coming.
Is there anything specific you're looking for?
It was mostly like kind of like a nervous tick. It's looking for like any possible danger coming, but the moment he doesn't see anything noteworthy, he's probably just gonna drop down and kind of
In fact, why don't you give me a technology and I would say resolve or cunning, whichever you prefer.
gotcha.
I was looking at my character sheet, and I'm like, why do I have 2 dots in tech and science? And I remember now, it was like a whole bunch of calm stuff with Savo and Kyle Zool. And I
Kale
was like,
Zool. I am
okay,
not Kyle Zool.
it's not Kyle. It's not like Kryptonian name. It's Kale, right?
I'm picturing
Got 6.
it's Vince
Oh, damn.
Clortho,
Good Gordon.
Zool, and Kyle.
So as
Oh,
you're
no, I was saying Kyle,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
like
Uh,
Kal-El.
at the vantage point that you have, Savo, as you're looking around, you actually see a place not far from the peak of the dome, directly above Emperor Rook's keep, in fact, where you're a little far away to tell, but you think there might be some gaps, like some structural gaps in the dome there. Possibly big enough for something to get through.
And it's kind of like probably watching a montage of someone getting down, skulking around. He's gone through like different alleyways, probably gone past like a warrior granny's ruin circle. Can I borrow that? And just grabs like a quilted warrior blanket that's wrapped it around himself. And is heading towards the direction where he can like inform someone like, hey, your dome is broken.
So who are you looking to inform?
Someone important looking, someone who looks like, oh yeah, this is part of the guard. This person works maintenance.
The best way that you can find to identify somebody who might be a guard in Fortress is by the fact that they're standing still. Like, it's really the only thing that differentiates you from the dude walking down the street. But as you pointed out to him, he
It's to let the
looked,
protagonist sneak up behind their vision cone.
You're
Right.
doing this before you give a monologue while perched up at the top of the city. No, like,
That was
I've
part of the
seen its true
montage.
face.
right.
The streets
That's a
are
lot of
extended gutters and the gutters are full of blood. And when the drains finally scab over, all the vermin will drown. You're not gonna Rorschach up there, or
No, because I think with Savo, after everything it's just the following lines. I'm tired. And that's it. That's the only line that
I
you get
love
from
it.
like
In the
5 minutes of
comic
silence.
montage of Savo doing all of this, the last line just has the text, I'm tired.
The guards are very grateful to you for pointing it out, and they tell you that they'll inform the Emperor's men and see to it that fortifications are applied post haste. And they said, thanks.
Doesn't reply, just gives like a good nod, disappears off again. We just watch like a reverse montage. He hands back the blanket, but like it's even more padded and quilted as if like he just finished whatever they were working on and heads directly
You
to
finished
like,
my
the bar.
chainmail overcoat.
Yeah, the knitting is working chainmail.
Was actually chainmail. It's a bunch of grannies making the chainmail. Oh, this place is great. I'm making this chainmail for my grandson.
Look at these chainmail booties. Yeah, that's basically like that is Fortress in a nutshell.
I like picturing Savo in a contemporary setting, gets robbed and needs a blanket and a mask, and ends up in like a spirit Halloween, like the cheapest one they have, and a grandma's quilt with like the sunflowers knitted onto it. Just
I can see it. I can see it.
The pajama party episode.
Do you head back to the portcullis inn after that?
Yes, it does head in looking weird without his stuff on when he walks back in.
By the
If
time
anyone
you
sees.
arrive, the
Wait, do
group
I even
is...
recognize him? I guess not.
That's a good question. Would anybody in the group?
I've got my
recognize
arm around the Savo puppet, and then
Store
Savo
Fairy.
here mid conversation telling the Darves about.
Storfair might, because Storfair had to patch me up.
That's true. Yes,
Oh
very
yeah.
good. So yeah, there's a lot of the central action at the end. Of course, is everybody sort of fawning over Bunga.
What else is new?
As Bunga is telling stories. What is Straferia doing among that, and what is Kilzul doing among that?
She kind of doesn't seem herself. Like she'd just be like swirling her drink and thinking about the last two like mass murders that she's been a part of. The Crystal Castle and the thing that we were all just at.
Sure.
Yeah, that's retirement talk, Stropharia.
Well, it's affected her, right? Like it shapes her. So
I'm just listening. I'm picking up on Stropharia. I'm listening to the stories Bunga is telling. I'm taking in the people.
Right on. Yeah, Crow, you enter. Does Savo make the way over to Bunga and them, or are you going to hang back?
Not necessarily Bunga, because Bunga's too busy talking to his head and like his body, so he's just like, no, he's.
Oh, I have it propped up beside him, like on a chair.
He's just like, that's fine. He's gonna go over to like his sad mushroom. Gonna flop down beside the sad mushroom.
yeah. Hello. I hardly noticed you were gone.
He's reaching for like his helmet and then realizes doesn't have it on. So you just hear
She'll
so
just
what's
break
wrong,
it
friend?
from-
How are you? You should be. What's with the long face? And it just sounds like he's mimicking something else.
Just kind of like raise an eyebrow. And she'll be like, I get like this. I don't know how many more lives that I can see torn from their bodies. It's terrible what we go through.
But what about all the bodies you have saved? so many families you have reunited.
There is that. That's why I do this. That's why I'm here.
Well, look on the bright side. It could always be worse.
It could always be worse.
You
That
should
is
have seen the dragon's girlfriend. It was this thing made out of knives, and it was just and it killed a whole bunch of people. That's why these two over here are sad. Wait a second. What?
What do
After
the Fortress people like think of sadness after a battle? Like they
I mean, nobody's there. Most of the people that are here are so enamored with what Bunga is saying or doing that, like, as Bunga mentions you, like they kind of look over and they're like, "Oh, that's weird," and then go back to revelry. Right? Like, it's very almost like they're just puzzled. They're puzzled anyway because you're like a mycelial elf who is not necessarily armored up. So they're kind of like, that's all. All that stuff is strange.
And throughout the conversation, there's lots of talks about how um, see that wizard looking elf near the fire puffing his pipe. He can control the undead, and the undead warriors were actually the ones that took down the Dargon.
Oh my goodness, that's
And
amazing.
this priestess here, we wouldn't have been survived and been able to haul these trophies here if it wasn't for her.
One of the Darvs says, "Blessed with quite the party, aren't you?"
Oh, I am. You should see the forces of darkness that my friend Savo here can fathom. Oh, he's sleeping right now.
So does that mean your group is planning on the hunt?
Wait, what's the hunt again?
What's the hunt? What's the hunt? He asked, "What's the hunt?" What's the hunt? We've
Oh,
till
I just gather these things for fun, you know how it is.
we've till calm begins to gather our trophies. Whoever has the finest trophy is declared the winner of the hunt.
Oh, it's at the beginning of calm. Well, I suppose you'd have
No,
to.
the contest is determined at the beginning of calm. You have until calm to find your trophy.
Oh, can I still enter?
Anyone who brings a trophy in can. I have a hunt planned myself.
Ooh. A ruby dragon?
A
An emerald?
ruby dragon. Who would hunt a ruby dragon? Why would you do such a thing?
Well, why not?
Seems a bit dangerous.
Well, you think all of us have got these big tooths around our necks for?
Those are ruby dragon teeth.
Aye.
Well then, quite impressive.
We've even brought the head.
Oh,
He kind of sighs and grabs. He puts his hands in his armor, like he's grabbing the chest plates. Says, "Well, I may just have to sit out the hunt this year. That's gonna be hard to top."
Do they have to be solo though? Because it was all of us here at the table.
No, a hunting party can win.
Oh, all right. Hey, friends, we can put the dragon head in the hunt contest thingy.
He says, "Yes, I'll have to think indeed about a way to
I
how I'm going to
suggest
proceed."
taking on a Rust night by yourself.
You've got two of their axes right there.
Exactly. Good beginning. Good for beginners.
Perhaps. Well,
So
Yes?
Barry with a space bomb.
Yeah. Salvo
Did I
just-
just send this guy off to his death?
Salvo is shaking his head. It's just it does something weird with like one of the coats. Kind of just moves it up and down. It kind of jerks forward, lets out a screeching noise as if something has possessed his coat just to unnerve the folks, and then let it drop on the floor again.
Darv sort of takes a step back. Your whole group is a little disconcerting, but that's okay. We'll find a way. We'll find a way to compete.
Disconcerting.
Name's Keldar. I look forward to beating you. He puts a hand out.
Oh, the name's Bunga.
Well, Bunga, you've
I
got to
look forward
find
to the challenge.
got a fine trophy there. Must see what I can scrape together. Calm's not that far off. So you've got yourself a challenge, Bunga.
All right.
And people start cheering and ale starts flowing. Bets start being placed.
Ooh.
And unless anyone has anything else that they would like to tackle, I think that's where we'll park the car. With you all resting at the Portcullis Inn. You have now met Keldar, the Darv who seems to be interested in trying to outdo you. And I'm sure that's not going to end in disaster. Any
Hope she doesn't
questions?
steal our shit.
Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns?
No,
I feel
Or-
this is the worst place to try to steal something and claim it as your own.
I'm
Yeah, that's probably not.
Like there's this like it would be like going to an open carry like Texas town and trying to like rob like a
someone's
place. Like you're just
bucket.
waiting for people to pull their blades out. And,
I'm more worried that like with that thing up top that's broken, and then we have a bunch of reckless Darv who's just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna lure something big in and I'm gonna fight it.
that's why I was hoping in your montage you were like plastering it.
Right, because nothing's gonna keep out some horrendous monster from the world above, like some
Plastic.
spackle.
That's some like some drywall spackle. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, some dry cement.
Yeah, quick dry cement. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
What about that tape that like the guy like in the infomercial
Oh, that infomercial where he like
Oh,
slaps
tape.
it.
where he slaps on the tape and it's like
Yeah.
water spouting out of it? Better.
So that's the new invention that the two of you need to invent. Slap tape.
Absolutely.
Slap tape,
Okay.
yes.
But sometime that is not today, because today we are buttoning things up. So we'll park with you all at the inn. We'll assume that you're all going to be getting some nice rest, and that you will conduct your business selling your LeBron 2 weeks hence when we return for a full session. Before we hit the bricks, let's go in the opposite order as we went before. Kevin, please give us your pertinence.
I was, have been, and will continue, hopefully, to be Kevin R. Zarnke. He, him, playing Kazul. He, him, both of us necromancers, but only one of us an entrepreneur. Please feel free to reach out for rates, whatnot, get you tutored up, and set out on your career. Also, keep an eye on some of the upcoming stuff in Shadowrun. We've got some new books dropping pretty soon with stuff done by me and by Travis, I'd like to add.
It's true.
Who is now contributing very nicely to the Sixth World. We are doing all kinds of new stuff in the setting. So if you've given up on us for a minute, give us a look. Have your cyberpunk with a side of fantasy and, dare I say, a little hope.
Little optimism in your cyberpunk.
There's more hope
optimi-
in a cyberpunk setting.
I have told one of my I told one of my students the difference between Cyberpunk Red and Shadowrun, aside from dragons and spells and shit, is that good guys tend to win in Shadowrun. Enough that body snatcher plots, they always get foiled. Bad things tend to turn to good sooner or later. There is an underlying message of hope in Shadowrun. We're gonna
Might be
fix
a bit-
that, but
might be a bad thing to say, but Cyberpunk Red, kind of mid, kind of mid. I've been playing it a bit at a friend running it.
I've talked with the devs and I spotted some stuff and brought to their attention. They were like, we could have phrased that better. Like, why does the corporate get a team that replaces actual players? And how am I? What is a fixer, a medic, a newsie, and a whatever? What are we playing? What is the core concept? There's
It's
a lot of
hard
ways
to
to
be
play.
like, how does the frontman of our band fit in with a dude that can fire a grenade launcher out of his arm? Like it.
Well, because
I know what you mean. Yeah.
they're both going to nuke Arasaka.
The game
I'm
would
just saying.
profit. The game would profit from having more of a discussion on what's the theme or thesis of this group or campaign or whatever. It lacks a little cohesion there. I love the world. The rules haven't actually changed. I found out that I could just take Knight's Edge, drop it right on red, and went, oh, there's my werewolves and my vampires. I like it in theory. I haven't had a chance to play it, but I'm not going to be a Shadowrun writer and shit on Cyberpunk.
No.
Salute, love the Artel Saurian.
I'm not a writer. I can shit on whatever I want.
No, I think I don't think of Cyberpunk and Shadowrun as rivals. I think of them as peers in the same class. Like we're coming at different angles, but we're all here to say fuck the mega corporations, and just like real life.
Indeed.
So that's me. Great, so nice being back with you guys.
Nice to have you back.
In a dark world, it's the groups and the games that keep us going.
Looking forward very much to our full session in 2 weeks' time. But until then, Haley, your pertinence, please.
Hi everyone. My name is Haley, also known as Babe_Blade 666 on the internet. Don't really have much to promote. I'm just happy to be here. I'm glad I could make it this session.
We are happy to have you. It's always good to see you. I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Crow, your pertinence.
Hello, hi, I'm Crow. Just finished playing Salvo. Anything you're looking up and anything you're trying to like, what the fuck are you actually in, sir? You can just look that up on Corvus at the Sky, 'cause that's mostly where I'm posting my stuff at. Anyways, that's pretty much about it for right now. This was fun. It's fun to be back, although low energy, but that's because life has been.
It's nice to ease back into it after, the dystopia has come to roost.
Yeah.
This was a hangout with a side of game, and that is exactly what I was looking for personally.
Yeah.
All right. Well, definitely check out Crow over on the Blue Sky. And also Monday, you'll be back here, right? For some...
I don't know about
Cyan.
next week. We will be back. Probably be back the week afterwards.
Dope.
But we are on Mondays.
Dope. Yep, for Cyan. Don't miss out on that. And last but not least, Cal, your pertinence.
Hey, yeah, it's been fun catching up. Much like, unlike Bunga, whenever I get compliments, I don't know what to do with them. And here, Bunga has all these compliments and people liking him, and it was like, oh, but I just do one thing really well. Oh, this place is great. I've kind of abandoned all like meta social media, so I'm just on Blue Sky as well. NeoCal, TikTok NeoCal, Twitch chat NeoCal. It's one of those things where it's like I made all of my stuff when the Matrix came out, But then with the rise of fascism, nobody's using it's not associated with neo-Nazis yet.
Right, yeah.
And I have been worried about that since I learned what that meant.
Sure.
And but neo by itself just means like new or new age or
right.
like the one, right? So if as soon as somebody's like, hey,
Yep, then
why
it's time to
is it-
start changing.
then I'm like,
things.
oh fuck, I gotta change everything.
Yep,
And this is
that's
my so
Yeah, you don't want to accidentally dog whistle. That's
yeah.
You know, I'm not going to let the Neo Geo get co-opted by fascists. Okay.
Right. It's just like the Viking iconography that they're trying to take. I
Yeah,
have so many
it's-
friends with tattoos, Thor's hammer, and like all this other stuff, and it's like they're co-opting like that, and it's like, oh man, should I get this like giant like Celtic knot Mjolnir like covered? And I'm like, no, you need to take it. We need to take it back.
That's what I'm saying. That's,
Yeah.
you know what? I refuse to let them steal that culture or any culture. I refuse to let them steal my heritage. And I refuse to let them steal every nifty little thing. No, come.
Yeah.
welcome indeed.
And you can find Travis and I the 7th, 8th, 9th, whatever our games are, on Dork Tales on the Golden Vault.
yeah, I'll be there Saturday, I believe.
And we're still slowly moving towards Prince of the Hill.
One day it will happen.
One day.
But
When we have the energy to meet and talk.
Yeah, that's really the only limiter. Real life is getting in the way in an energy sense. Not enough energon.
Exactly. In the interim, I would like to remind you that The World Below, this book, the game that we have been playing adjacent to all night, is up on DriveThruRPG in POD and PDF. Also want to remind you that my release of Gauntlet of Spirogos for Savage Worlds is also available in advanced PDF. Head over and pick that up. I would love it if you would do so. Tell your friends to do the same. Grab them both and have just a wonderful weekend. Hang out. We're going to shoot a raid over to Radio Free Will. And we will see you again in 2 weeks' time. I'll be back here tomorrow morning for some Exalted Essence. Till then, take care of yourselves and each other. Stay out of trouble. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you do, get video. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye.
Bye.